We are about to enter a Disney veranda room. We are in stateroom 10522. If you want to know what it looks like, you're at the right place at Cruise on Demand. I'm your host, Tina Altman. Let's cruise in. We're here in Disney's 10522. It's a family deluxe veranda. Similar to many cruise ships, you'll have a cabinets on one side of the room, and unlike many other cruises, you'll have two bathrooms on the right-hand side, or if you're on the other side of the ship, it'd be reversed. We'll show you a little bit, but one bathroom has a toilet and a sink, and the other one is where you take your showers. So we'll go ahead and open the cabinets. This is our first time on a Disney cruise, and so you are seeing this for the very first time, just like we are. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, the first shelf or cabinet has your safe on the bottom. Looks like two shelves, and I have no idea what that is supposed to be. So we're going to leave that alone. They do have the laundry bag for your laundry, and it looks like the children, nope, one adult and one child life vest up there right now. Plenty of hangers. I like to hang everything up and move in completely. So we will show you a video of us moved in after we've been here a few days, and we'll give you a review. So stay tuned for that. The second cabinet looks just like the first. It does have the ladder for the bunk bed, which we won't be using. This room is a family deluxe, so it can have 4 people. Typically, it's 2 adults and 2 children, and we'll show you the sleeping arrangements in a minute. Just really quick, and a lot of people like to see what's on the door with where you go for emergencies. We are on the starboard side of the ship, and we are in the forward part of the ship, actually right under the spa. I'm interested to see if that will affect our sleep. Coming back towards the door, the very first bathroom that you'll see is the toilet, and it's just a toilet and a sink. A really cool part about Disney, they do that because they are used to the families. Here is your actual bathroom where you'll take a shower or bath, again, prepared for children. The bathroom does have the traditional Mickey Disney shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. I am told it is amazing, and you never need to bring any of your own shampoo or conditioner. Right outside of the bathrooms, to the left in ours, you have 2 shelving units where you can put some stuff up there. We'll see how we end up using this as the week goes on. And then 3 drawers. So very family friendly so far. I know when my kids were little, they're the drawers are the ones that don't snap back, so little fingers won't get hurt. That's really good. This is a adjoining cabin, so it does have another door here where it would go if you wanted to have booked this room and the other, and you could open it up and share with maybe 2 teenagers on the other side and the adults over here. Or again, with that, you would be able to fit 8 people in the room. If you keep moving back, you come to the queen size bed. Unlike many other cruise ships, Disney does not have the option to have 2 twins separated. It is a full queen bed. On the right side of the bed, you have I believe that light switch does just that light. And then you have an American and a European outlet at the bottom, as well as a very small drawer. Then we'll work our way over to the other side of the bed. Here you have, I'll see if I can do it without ruining everything. You have a light switcher here, but you also have an all-out night switch. So that's for that one. And this one would actually turn off everything. This side has a phone, but no outlets. And then the same drawer on this side. Then the second half of the room is kind of a living space, or where you would put the children. And they do have a divider, a simple hook. And this will go all the way across. I'll actually do it now. And then pull it back. It's not actually very easy to use. It's kind of stiff. And that simply wraps back up with a hook. This is where the children be. This couch will turn into a bed, and then they have a Pullman that comes out of right here. But since we aren't going to have any kids, this will be more like our living space, so this will stay a couch for us. We might even ask them to remove this little table because we would like the extra space. On the opposite side over here, is like a desk area. You have a small little cabinet and a vanity mirror. And over here we have another European with 2 USBs, so that's nice. 2 US outlets. These are more light, so I'm going to go ahead and turn them on, I think. Let's see if we can, maybe. There we go. I don't know what all those are for. We'll figure that out later and tell you on the second video. And then you also have, looks like 6 more USBs over here, so that's really nice. This bottom shelf down here, this is going to be your refrigerator. And Disney's is actually a refrigerator, unlike a lot of their cruises. So this one is meant to actually keep your food cold. Then you have 3 more drawers, and these are your hair dryer. Let's see, everyone always wants to know what the hair dryer is like. Definitely better than a lot of the other ones. Looks like it's an actual real hair dryer. And the second thing they have, and I knew about this, they have a heat pad, so that way you can put it down if you have curling irons or hair flatteners. You'll be able to use that and keep it from damaging their countertops here. I don't think there's going to be anything else in the drawers, but let's just pull them open and see. Nope. Again, that's the same drawers that don't automatically shut. They slowly shut in. And they're easy to pull with these knobs. These knobs don't actually go up or down. They're hard locked in there. And then, like I said, this is a family deluxe veranda that we actually got via a guaranteed stateroom. And so we have a balcony. There's a lock right up here. If you have it looking like a half moon, it's locked. If you have it up, then it's unlocked. And again, totally prepared for kids. This way, no kids can get out of the veranda and have any accidents. Turn the knob after you do that. That's when it can open. We are still in port, so you can see the port where you get on here. It's a small balcony with 2 chairs and a table. And then if you are traveling, again, if you were traveling with the group that was next to you, some of the verandas don't open to the other side. And it looks like this is one of the ones that doesn't open to its adjoining room. However, it does open up to the other side. So if we were with the people next to us, we could take this down, ask them to take this down, and they would lock it in place right over here. And then you would be able to have this open to the other side and share both of them. That is room 10522 on the Disney Dream. We are going to be here for a 5-day cruise, 4 nights. We booked the Disney Dream for a guaranteed stateroom. We booked a guaranteed family deluxe veranda, and we were given room 10522. We spent the last 3 nights here in this room, and we'd like to go ahead and show you how we used it and maybe tell you some of the positive and negatives as we go through. So when you walk into the room, since it is family deluxe, you're going to have 2 doors to one side and then your cabinets to the other. The 2 sides are for the 2 bathrooms, one just a toilet and one with the tub, and then you have your cabinets. So we're going to start at the cabinets just like we did when we first came in, and you'll see how we use them. I went ahead and put my husband's stuff on this side, and then as you've seen in some of our other room tours, we have our dirty clothes down on the bottom. And that's how we use this cabin. Obviously, we did use our safe for just the stuff we bring that we have to lock up when we're gone. In the second cabinet, it was mine. And I did hang up my clothes here, put my shoes down on the bottom, and then I put some of my, kind of Disney paraphernalia, my ears and stuff in those shelves. I think it would be good for kids' clothes if you had a kid. One thing I did notice is that my dresses kept falling off the hanger, so I did have to fold them. So if someone else is having a hard time with that. That's how we use the cabinet space. Going into the bathrooms, the very first one is, again, just a toilet. And if you come on in, you'll see that we actually put nothing in here. Now, I will say I would change that if we were on this cruise a second time, because when you go into the one with the bathtub, I will show you, we put everything in this one. If you ever took a shower, then the whole room would get hot and all of that would get all moisturized, and it wasn't good. So if I was going to do this again, where I originally thought having everything over here in case someone needed to use the toilet would be nicer, I think I would make a change. I'd probably still keep the toothbrushes over here because I just think it's nicer to have it separate, but everything else I would probably put in with the toilet. One thing I will say that I was disappointed with, and it's probably only because of the expectations that I had, was the shampoo and conditioner and body wash. I've used it before at the parks, and it seems like it's the same stuff. It's not. I mean, I was told to literally bring bottles to bring it home because it was so good. And while it was good, it's what I used. I wouldn't pack any other shampoo. I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. But the shower, on the other hand, was amazing. The water stayed hot, like we've talked about in other videos. You could stay in here the whole time. And there was so much space because it's a tub for, to be able to put kids in there and have them take a bath. So there was tons of space. So hands down, bathrooms, best I've ever been on. We'll go ahead and turn and go into the room. Oh, before we actually go into the room, I'll show you what we did with the shelving space. A lot of our medical stuff. I always carry not only the bands, which we didn't use, motion sick patches, and then all your rest of your normal motion sickness stuff, but I bring Tylenol and ibuprofen at every visit. And then we put socks and underwears for ourselves in each of those drawers, and then our excursion stuff, snorkels and whatnot in the back. You saw that we had our own hooks. I put our lanyards here so we could grab them all the time. I did have our bag up top here. I did use this one for drying some bathing suits. There's also a hook in the bathroom that you probably saw was drying my bathing suit. And then against our door, that is our neighbors, but we don't know. I went ahead and put our hats. I will say before I forget, the Disney Dream is a cruise where you do need a card to keep your lights on in your room. So if you don't want to use your card, you can either bring a credit card, your driver's license, anything of that size. I actually just cut up a piece of cardboard and stuck it in there, and that worked just fine. Next, we'll move over to the bed area. We have 2 of our own pillows that we brought, and then you could have requested more pillows, but for just the 2 of us, this was perfect. I showed you there was the outlets under on this side and earlier. They worked great. Little drawer I kept my pajamas in, and that setup was perfect. The other side has no outlets, so you either need to have an extension cord, or we like to use is the portable chargers at night and then charge them during the day, so you can still charge your phone by your bed at night. And you can do that on any cruise. The bed was great. Comfortable. I love the fact that it's an actual queen, not 2 twins pushed together. So it really felt more like an actual bed versus 2 twins pushed together, which can get uncomfortable. You don't need to worry about having a pad over it. I found it very comfortable. Slept really well. And then this blanket that they add, love it. They use it for all of the tower animals that you'll see. So we'll come over. TV. Kind of a bummer. So if you're not a Disney fan, you're not going to get a lot of joy of the TV. So hopefully you don't plan on spending a lot of time in your room. There are every possible Disney show that you can imagine, but TV wise, it's more boring than most hotel TVs. It's got a couple of news channels, so if you did want to keep up on those, it would be there. But then HGTV, the Food Network, and I want to say like something called Prime or something, but it wasn't like Amazon Prime. But you had any movies that you could watch. I'll keep going along here. We didn't really use this shelf just for one item. The refrigerator was what was down here. This cabinet, I put a lot of the stuff that I used for the videos, cords and stuff down there. Any pixie dust that I planned on re-pixie dusting, I kept up top. That way we'd be able to easily grab it and just give it to somebody else, because we are just 2 adults and don't have any children. Obviously, I'm not just going to keep the stuff for the children. I went ahead and re-pixie dusted out. These drawers, this is where the hairdryer was. Again, really great hairdryer for a cruise, more like when you would have at home than you have seen on some other cruises. So that was great. Space-wise for keeping clothes or any other things you bring, wires and whatnot. For 2 people, more than enough. I think if I had little ones, it would probably still be more than enough. But if you had either 4 adults or teenagers, you're going to start getting cramped with the room that you had. So you have to plan and divide accordingly. I'm going to go over to the outlets really quick. This one didn't even work, so we were automatically down a USB. And here at Disney, we couldn't bring our outlet that has multiple outlets. It has to be one like this that just has multiple USBs. So I brought this one that we already had with us from home. And then I also bought for this cruise, which I'll use on more cruises now, is the second one. That has 3 C's and then 3 USBs. I think for the most part, and we've talked about this in other videos, this is tight, but you can definitely make this work. Maybe not with 4 adults if you wanted to charge everything at the same time. So one advice I would have is to buy some of these portable battery packs. We charge these during the day when we have nothing else and we're out and about and we have nothing else charging. And then at night, we'll use these bedside or to charge multiple things, not just in the plugs, but then also in these, and then start again the next day. Another thing that I recommend for every cabin is some type of fan. This one, and most of them, will say that you can charge them during the day and then use them during the night, but I have found none of them work more than like say 4 hours. So we usually keep a longer cord so we can plug it in and still get it to point closer to the bed. One thing I will say about the veranda is I was disappointed in it. We didn't go out there very much. You do know that we are okay with interior cabins, but we have booked balcony cabins, especially for long trips like our transatlantic that we did last year. We, of course, had a balcony for that. Wouldn't have done that any other way. That one was absolutely amazing. This one, I don't know if it's because they do the fireworks, so they want to have it over all the balconies, but here on the 10th floor, you're the top floor, and then right above the balcony is an extension of the deck above, deck 11. And so you can't actually see into the sky. It's great for looking out. You're probably seeing behind me, but if you try to look up, all you're going to see is deck. So I didn't like that about the cabin. Would we do a guaranteed stateroom? So this room worked very well for us. I enjoyed it. There really wasn't any negatives. Like I said, positives, bathroom and hot water, again, were amazing. The bed was amazing. It's really what you want in a cabin. You want an awesome bed for great sleep and then a shower to freshen up. And of course, outlets. More than that, there's really not anything that you'd want in a cabin. So this one, hands down, met it. The other thing I loved about this particular cabin is that I've never done this. It was right by an elevator. I've always been very cautious about booking cabins right next to an elevator because I feel like it's going to bring more traffic. The tip on this one, though, although it is right by an elevator, it's on the side that leads to fewer cabins. So if someone's going to come off the elevator, it's unlikely that they're going to go past our room unless they're going to their cabin. I think if I decide to book by an elevator, I'll be thinking about that next time, either on the end right before the aft or on the end right before the forward, so that way there's less people going by. I would definitely consider booking by an elevator then in the future. And then would we book a guaranteed stateroom? I think it turned out great. I'm always going to be a little cautious because they could put you anywhere. You could be right below the pool deck and then hear all the chairs moving. You could be right next to the diner or right next to the club at night and have to hear all that. I knew and had heard that Disney rooms would be quieter, so I wasn't worried. I think if the savings are right, I would still book a guaranteed stateroom. Before we go, let me show you that balcony. So as you can see, great view of the ocean, but if you were to try to look up at all you're gonna see is deck. So coming back to the outlets really quick, you can see that we had mentioned before that we thought these were 6 USBs. They are not. I don't know what they are. I haven't figured it out. So if you know what those 6 little slots are for, please put a comment down on the bottom. Help me and anybody else that's wondering out. I'd really appreciate it. And if you liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe for more videos. So once again, that's Disney's Dream Cabin 10522, a family deluxe veranda. Until next time, keep on cruising.
The water here is so soft and warm. I'm going to be in here for a while. This is the best cruise I've ever been on in my life.